Hello everybody, it's John, and this week's special Horse's Ass of the Ward goes to a group of well-known horses' asses. That's right. There is a group of people out there. They're known as the millennial generation, the millennials. Yes, millennials, you win the coveted horse's ass, the silver sphincter. You guys, you earned it. You deserve it. Now, I'm going to throw a little caveat out here for you millennials that don't think you deserve that award. If you're not a selfish, narcissistic, identity-confused crybaby with no work ethic, an entire, a century's worth of entitlement mentality, and complete and total indoctrination, then you don't deserve this. But if you're one of the other millennials, you do. So back to the rest of the crowd. The millennials, they've earned it. They have become the generation that is selfish. All they do is think about themselves. A great example of them will be the protesters. Yes, the protesters, they exemplify exactly what it is to be a millennial. They have a sense of entitlement and a belief system that they're right at all times. They're never wrong. Watch any protest, go to any college campus, or listen to interviews of college kids. These millennials are narcissistic off the scale. They make the 60s hippies look average. They are so sanctimonious, these millennials who have earned the horse's ass, the Silver Sphincter Award, right? These fucking people are retarded. Not because their brains don't work, but because they have been educationally retarded. They've been socially promoted, and they've been run through an indoctrination system called the education system. We as adults need to understand that millennials, though there be some that are intelligent, forward-thinking and intelligent, most of them are worthless. They are completely and totally brainwashed, and they are dangerous. You can identify them by their constant and total whining, their total belief that they are entitled to everything they want. Now, where does this generation come from? What made them? Really, what made the millennials the millennials? I've got two sons that are millennials, and they are not allowed to act like everyone else because they are held accountable by me. So what does that tell you about other millennials? They're not held accountable by their parents. That's fucking sad. But it stems from what, third, fourth, fifth generation of feminist households raising human beings to be anything other than men and women. That's what the problem is here, is we have a total generation of parents who don't know how to parent. There's a generation of parents that don't know what it is to be human beings, to be self-reliant and responsible. And as a result, we have a generation of people who, again, rather than being told, you need to do better than your parents, you need to step up, they're told, relax, take it easy, man, you only live once. All this YOLO shit, right? You only live once. That's the millennials. Look at me. They've been raised with the internet. They've been raised with computer technology. Instant gratification. Yes, the millennials, if they even knew what a horse was and what comes out the backside, they would realize why this award, this coveted horse's ass award, nobody fucking wants, but they have earned it. Yes, the millennials. The sense of entitlement they have is fantastic. Watch them on the news. Watch them in public gatherings. Have you seen these kids? These young people? They're going to bring this nation down the rest of the way. They have been, unfortunately, indoctrinated to a level that you and I probably cannot even fathom. My son, my younger son, tells me about what he does in school every day. He harasses the fuck out of these people. To him and his buddies, it's a sport to get little girls and little effeminate boys to trigger. He loves to trigger them. He'll say shit that upsets them and they go off. They cannot stand to hear things that they don't agree with. And so he'll say things to trigger a psychological reaction in them. And you've heard about triggering and safe spaces. That's what the millennials demand. They demand a safe place. Some space to go where nobody can upset them. Where their ears will not hear words that they don't want to hear. And their eyes won't see things that are offensive. These little LGBTQ type people, they want to be whatever they think they should be. And they don't even know what they are because they're identity confused. That's how heavily brainwashed they are. And they can't face the idea that someone's certain of what they are unless it's one of these ambiguous androgynous beings. These poor millennials have earned it. They've earned the horse's ass. What a noble award for what a bunch of worthless little fucks. The millennial crybabies. Now, like I said, I know 2 kids that are not worthless millennials. And they have friends who are not worthless millennials. And when I talk to them, they prove they're not. So you can't say as a millennial or as the parent of a millennial, you can't say that they don't have any choice, that they have to be that way. That's the way kids are these days. You know, my kids have a choice. They accept responsibility for themselves and their own actions and the way they think. So that is no excuse. It's the parents and it's also the kid. The kid has to choose. I've told my kids, you have a choice. You can be a man. You can grow up into a man. Take responsibility for yourself. Or you can be like one of those other people. And I ask my sons to describe to me people they've gone to school with that they find abhorrent, less than. And they describe them to me. And I go, do you want to be like that? And they say no. Then I say, you have to be responsible for yourself. You cannot be selfish. You have to know what you are and decide. Are you going to be a man or are you going to be a sponge? You know, a sense of entitlement comes from instant gratification, always getting what they want. A little bit of whining and crying and they get what they want. They throw a fit, they throw themselves on the ground, and they're given what they want. That is what entitlement is. A belief that all they have to do is think or wish, and it has to be made to happen. That is the sense of entitlement. Now, I will admit that I've spoiled my kids. I'll also tell you, I make them do all kinds of shit that kids are supposed to do. Right, my kids split wood, stack wood, mow lawns, rake pine needles, burn, take out garbage, do dishes. They do their own laundry, they fold their own laundry, they clean their own rooms, they clean the house, they clean their own bathroom. They do shit. They're learning how to be adults. They don't have a sense of entitlement that says they're too good for that or above it. And that's where I look at work ethic of these millennials. They have none. They don't want to work. Their parents give them everything that they have, everything that they want, and they just whine for more. This country is in deep shit with an entire generation of these fucking clowns growing up with their purple hair and their fucking tattoos on their face, piercings, ear gauges, all the bullshit they do to themselves. You can see that they're narcissistic and they're screaming for attention, screaming to be recognized. They want attention now, and if you don't give it to them, they're going to piss and moan. That is their problem. They have no self-respect. They have no self-worth. They're valueless human beings who want everything. And they're going to be the next generation that steps into this nation. And if they're not working and producing, what does that mean they're going to be doing? They're going to be taking taking from me. I'm older. I'm 47 almost. They're taking from me. They're taking from you. Whether you're 57, 67, or 27, if you're working, these millennials will be taking from you and complaining the whole way. They are going to be the generation of Americans that want to be socialists. They want the government to provide them everything, and they want you and I to pay for it. It's the me generation, the millennials. And they are a bunch of horses' asses. Every last one of these whiny little fucks that think they're entitled to have it all. Yep, the public education system is finally paid off. 4 or 5 generations of Democrat entitlements have finally paid off. We now have a generation of people who are so selfish and narcissistic that they cannot be human beings. Go out and look at them, please. Take a trip to Walmart. Take a trip to wherever young people go and listen to them. Listen to the words they use and the shit they talk about. We are in big trouble, folks. The shit is going to hit the fan, and there's an entire generation of communist protesters, communist supporters out there, and these are these college kids, and there's a huge group of them. They're called the Millennials. They are the worst of the worst. They have been cultivated. Their attitudes have been fostered, nurtured, and encouraged by the government, the state governments, and the United States government. In large schools and small schools, the school board's full of idiot dumb fucks who promote all of the trans, just the bullshit, the alternative lifestyle thinking bullshit. How about get up, go to school, learn some fucking shit, get out of school, go to work, go home, do your homework, get up and do it again. That's life, you little fuckers. The horse's ass of the week goes to the millennials. The Peter Pan generation that does not want to grow up. And they want it all their way, and they want it now. Every last one of these millennials with tits should be named Veruca Salt. I want an Oompa Loompa now, Daddy. And they throw a fit when they don't get their way. That's what we've got. An entire generation that is going to be ruined unless they can wake themselves up. And frankly, with this particular group of horses' asses, I don't take the time. I consider them lost. Lost for all time. It's up to them to choose. I can help people in their 20s and their 30s if they want. People my age, older. There's nothing that can be done for these millennials. They are off the hook stupid. Listen to them. If you have taken anything along the way of critical thinking and philosophy in college or high school, or both, you'll hear nothing but logical fallacies spewing from them. Contradictory, self-contradictory statements in the same paragraph. Millennials, you guys have earned it. This is John, host of both the Prepared Mind channel and MGTOW's Freedom channels. And this is another video that's going to go up there. Yes, it's going to go up on both channels. Why? Because millennials have fallen right in to all the social indoctrination, all the social engineering programs. They are the result of it. They are the product of it. Feminism and its destruction of men, women, and the family, and our country, and our culture. And these millennials are living it. They're the most miserable little fucks on the planet, and they don't even know why. Social indoctrination and social engineering. The millennials are the prize. That's what we get for decades of this shit. Decades of social engineering has produced the millennials, the single most worthless generation of human beings this planet has ever seen. And I hate to see what comes next. I hate to see what comes next, but I have a feeling it's going to be a generation that rejects the millennials. But through it all, over the next few years, we're going to see something we've never seen on this planet before. That is a societal, economic collapse of epic and biblical proportions is going to occur. It is systemic, meaning it's been around for a long time and it's coming to fruition. And as we see the human beings collapse from immorality, the Millennials, this week's group that has won the Horse's Ass Award, our economy, our financial system, our system of law, decency, morality, it's trashed along with this generation. It's indicative of the systemic problem, the systemic nature. It is the dividends and the results paid for toying with what we are. We're human beings. We are men. We are women. The social engineers have fucked with things enough, and now it cannot be unfucked. Just as the experimental economic systems have been put into place and pushed and tried again and again, thinking that if they keep trying the same thing again and again, you'll get different results. Surprise, you do not get different results. When you do something and it fails, you stop doing it. You don't push it harder. You don't get more of the very thing that failed, because you just create the problems like we have. We have economic problems. We have problems with diplomacy. And the very worst of the people who are in charge have wanted this. They want this. They want chaos and destruction if they can't own it all. And even if they do own it all, they're going to get a system full of idiots. The millennials. All they're going to do is cost, and they won't produce. The horse's ass of the week, the millennials. Thank you, folks. Subscribe. Click subscribe down below. Click share if you enjoy the horse's ass of the ward. Send it to your friends, family, and loved ones. Click the sponsors if you wish. That helps me pay the bills. And above all else, man, prepare. Chance favors the prepared mind. Food, shelter, water, clothing, defense, which means guns and ammunition. Get it all, because the system is coming down. The system's coming down. And that's going to result in a lot of chaos, a lot of death and mayhem. And if you don't want to be part of that, you better get ready now. This is John. Godspeed and Semper Fi.